Welcome to Salty Beaver Explores. Today's video is really cooking. No, really, we are cooking, so get on your apron. It's Christmas time, and today we will be making a traditional dish of the province of Quebec. Come along on this video to learn the history of tourtière and how it's made. Tourtière is a meat pie that is a staple of French-Canadian cuisine. It is typically made with ground pork and other meats, spices, and onions, and baked in a flaky pastry. It is typically served during the holiday season, especially on Christmas Eve, for a celebration called Réveillon, when Catholic French-Canadians stay up after midnight mass to feast and to make merry. Culinary historians have been able to trace back tourtière to the 1600s, when Quebec was first being settled by the French along the St. Lawrence River from the ocean through to Quebec City. The recipe was originally brought by French settlers and over time evolved to incorporate local ingredients. No one really knows how the Quebecois meat pie got its name. There are two theories. Some historians believe it is derived from a 15th century pie called la patina, which was made in a bronze pot with 4 layers of pastry crust. Others believe it came much later in the 19th century, deriving from tourte, which means pigeon, though the passenger pigeon went extinct by the early 1900s due to overhunting. Well, I promised you that we were going to be cooking, so let's start with our own tourtière. I will begin by making a pie crust. You can use a pre-made frozen crust, but I feel that the best pies, meat or otherwise, are best with a homemade pastry. When it comes to pie, I like to say it's all about the crust. This is a really easy pastry, as you could see that it was made with a food processor. I'll include the recipe in the description box. There is no exact recipe for tourtière, though onions seem to be included in all the recipes that I looked at. It may be controversial to some, but I'm also going to add a bit of garlic. Originally, tourtière was made with game meat such as deer, rabbit, moose, and game birds. It is now common to use pork or beef. Chicken can also be used. There is no one correct filling. The meat depends on what was regionally available. In coastal areas, fish, such as salmon, was commonly used. La cuisine canadienne, which was written and published by Louis Perrault in Montreal in 1840, was the first French-language cookbook published in Canada. Although tourtière has been around since the 17th century, La cuisine canadienne was the first written recipe. The recipe contained 3 types of meat: pork, mutton, and veal. A wide variety of spices can be used to season the meat, but some traditionalists would say not to use anything other than salt and pepper. The most common spices used are cinnamon, clove, mustard seeds, celery salt, and allspice. The choice is yours. The meats that I've decided to use for my filling are ground pork and ground deer. I'm using thyme, cinnamon, cloves, salt, and pepper as my seasoning. Some people also add potatoes, carrots, or other vegetables to their tourtière. Recipes I looked at had a wide variety of ways to include the potatoes. I've decided to peel and grate mine, and I didn't add any other vegetables. I added beef stock, though some recipes say just to add water. I'm starting to roll out the pastry for the pie tin, but my meat has finished cooking and cooling. That's the trick for keeping the bottom crust of the pie from getting soggy. The meat mixture has to be completely cooled before putting it in the pie shell. I believe that today most tourtières are made in a regular pie tin, such as the one I'm using, but many recipes say to use a deep dish pie pan, and I have even seen some baked in what looks like small pots. I modified the tourtière recipe that I had found online to make it with spices that I had on hand. The recipe, which makes 2 meat pies, can be found in the description box. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I really hope that you try making tourtière for your Christmas. If you like this video, there are a few things you can do to support our channel, like giving it a thumbs up, sharing with your friends, and leaving a comment. Please consider giving us a super thanks on YouTube or buy us a coffee so we can continue bringing you interesting Canadian content. Let us know if there's a Canadian story you'd like us to cover in a future episode. For more videos about Canada, please subscribe and ring the bell icon to be notified of our next upload.